If you keep copying Daygame mentors in fields and still are not getting laid, you are using the wrong model. You think mentors can do it, and worshipping like a sheep without critical thinking will get you laid. However, coaches can better transfer the skills than a mentor. I am a coach and very proud of it. 675 laid and pull testimonials prove you don't need to worship me, since I have more laid testimonials than all of global game platform scammers combined for Daygame. Also, my Pakistani mentor, who is the best Daygamer I know, can't coach it anyways. Do you want results, or do you want to worship?
That everything you've been learning was a lie when it comes to Daygame products. The reason why it doesn't work for other dating coaches is because you're using the mentor mentality. You believe that if they can do it, you can do it. But you never thought about mentors versus coaches versus teachers. So I'm going to bust this myth for you. Everything you were told is a lie. So don't worship dating coaches. If you want to get laid fast without using alcohol in Daygame and using that in the bedroom, wrestling with drunk women, this type of game, wrestling with drunk women using romantic sexual, is not legal, technically speaking. Also, it causes Stockholm syndrome, where the women sides with their captors. So do you want to get laid faster, even using Daygame products like mine, online training, without depending on a boot camp? You don't have to depend on this mentor mentality, because it's mental. The mentor mentality is like, oh, would you trade places with the other person? If they get results, you get results, and all of this bullshit, one after another. But you can't figure out, they always follow these dating coaches. They never ever get results, no matter how hard they try. They always fail, and they don't know why they're failing. They believe that if they follow the mentor, they'll get results. But I'm not a mentor, I'm a coach. I had a Pakistani mentor, and he doesn't know how to teach anything. That's why it's very important to not depend on this mentor mentality. I have
675
and they pull testimonials. We could go through all of them. I really do not have time to go through every single lay testimonial. You just have to go check out my testimonial page. So what's the difference between and which one's better for you? It really depends. Like and subscribe. So this is the mentor myth. If you can do it, I can do it automatically for Daygame. That is false. That is false. Basically, my Pakistani mentor is the best Daygamer in the world that I know. I've never seen anyone like him. He's actually banging Andrew Late's kind of girlfriends. He's just completely using social skills and social calibrations as a Pakistani guy. So therefore, but he's a mentor. That's why I call my Pakistani mentor. It does not automatically mean he knows how to teach me. He says, John, go look at me and try to study me. Like this is a zoo and this is a habitat. Try to study what I'm doing and try to reverse engineer it for your students. So therefore, my Pakistani mentor, even though he is the best Daygamer, it's kind of like learning from Elon Musk. They can only give you a few tips here and there. They're not good at coaching.
I think
so the idea is that the product never works for you. Never, and they start worshipping. They never, ever get laid. Ever. So they always get funneled into a boot camp. So I'm going to explain the difference between a mentor, a dating coach, and a teacher. Why mentors are not always the most transferable. Teacher means it's all theory, basically. When you look at a teacher in your university and he's teaching you how to do marketing and sales and all this internet stuff, he may not actually have any experience. So that is what they call a teacher. Teacher are just theory junkies, much like what you find on these forum groups where everyone has their own fucking theories. This is not the most transferable thing. Teachers means it's all theories. A coach means it's something like somebody who has experience, but still can coach you step by step. They can build training programs, which I'm very good at. I have the experience. I have like over 22 years of experience in Daygame. I started in 2001. Dating coach does not have to be the best PUA in the world. He just has to be the best dating coach in the world. Look at Mayweather, for example, his team. His father teaches him, his uncle teaches him. They don't have to be the best boxers in the world. They have to be good enough, but they can transfer that skills by coaching Mayweather Jr. to have 50-0. So therefore, this idea is that, oh, but if you can do it, I can do it. They may be using game crutches. That's why you're always stuck. So a mentor is somebody who's doing it, but they're the least transferable. Because like my Pakistani mentor was saying, observe me, try to extract the lessons. So here are a few tips, but he can't teach it. Steve Jobs, they asked him exactly what does he do, right? Steve, you're not the best programmer in Apple. You are not the best at anything. And then you know what Steve Jobs said?
So how come 10 times in a day, I read Steve Jobs as a genius? What do you do?
I play the orchestra. And you're a good musician. You sit right there. You're the best in your...
I think it was in a movie. I'm not sure if it's a real quote. Steve Jobs says this. He isn't the best programmer, right? Steve Jobs says musicians play their instruments. I play the orchestra. I'll say this again. Musicians or mentors plays their instruments. They're like, look at me, I'm the best violin player, right? You can only learn from me, I'm the best violin player. I'm playing this violin, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. But I conduct the orchestra. I literally run the wars of all my students like a general. That's what Steve Jobs meant when he says, you know, musicians play their instruments, I play the orchestra. It means I'm the general. I'm the general. They're just good soldiers, a good musician playing their instruments. Who gives a fuck? So they're like, look at me, I'm a mentor, woo! But you never ever get laid in their products. You always get stuck. You wonder, how come every product you buy? Because you have this mentor mentality. They can do it, you can do it. But that's the wrong mentality. Can they coach you? The only time they can ever get you results is in their boot camps, never in their products. Have you noticed that? It's not a coincidence. Listening, they're good soldiers, so they're playing a small part of the instruments, but it doesn't mean shit because sometimes a good example is like Phil Jackson versus Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was using Grape Game, and Kobe Bryant cannot coach a team to victory. Phil Jackson is not the best basketball player in the world, but he is sure the best coach in the world. He's the best coach in the world for Phil Jackson. So therefore, you can't discount Phil Jackson and say, Kobe Bryant this. The reason why I say my mentor or my Pakistani mentor is Michael Jordan is because he is the best. For a guy with a darker complexion, he's banging like 9 out of 10s like Andrew Late's girlfriends all the time. He did that 15 times in a row. And all the women looked at me and they scoffed when they saw me in the mansion. So while he can do it, it doesn't mean he can teach me how to do it, but he can mentor me. He can give me tips. He can answer real-time questions just like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not a teacher. So I can learn from him, field test a split test, and then give it to you guys. And then you guys get results. Do you see where I'm going with this? Sometimes a coach is better than a teacher, but that's like bro science, you know? It's like bro science. It's like, I'm only going to listen to a mentor who's able to get a lot of muscles. Let's say that you say that, the bro science, the guy takes steroids. And you're like, oh, I can only listen to him. It's the same thing as listening to other dating coaches. I can only listen to the steroid guy. But in reality, that guy is cheating, just like Grape Game. Or they're using status maxing. That's why it never works for you, except for their boot camps once in a while. But it never works for their products. It's a complete lie. Because this mentor mentality, that guy takes steroids, and it's like, oh, he looks strong, therefore, I will listen to him. And then you ignore your doctor, who's more like the teacher. Your doctor may not be necessarily strong, but he can still give good advice regarding your health. He'd probably tell you not to take steroids. Do you see where I'm going with this? The mentor versus the coach versus the teacher. You got to find out which one works for you at any given situation. Sometimes in life, for your health problems, maybe a doctor might be better or a nutritionalist. Right? He may not look like the youngest person. He may not be the strongest person, but he might give the best advice. Whoever gets you the most results is the most important. Oh, but I'm a mentor. That's the problem with mentors, is because a lot of guys need to worship. They need to worship so hard because in their mindset, that's why they're stuck. Year after year, they're stuck. They never get results, and they're always funneled into a boot camp. So let me explain further so you guys get it. So when they use Grape Game, it's like, it's not the best way of doing things. So anyone who says like only they can teach it with this mentor myth is just full of shit. Ask yourself why their Daygame products never works, ever. Have you ever wondered? You bought so many products, their products have came out somehow. When they released their products, nobody got laid. And you're wondering, how is that possible? Because they're the mentor. So they already demonstrate their products don't work. So now they always come out with a new product. I always have the same products because they work. They're evergreen. They last forever. They're having what they call a launch product. Launches versus evergreen. Evergreen means for the rest of my life, these products always work. For them, the evergreen or the launch products never works. They always launch a new product. Oh, but they promise to give you the secret. There's no secret. It's just great. They wrestle with drunk women in the bedroom. So you learn that in the boot camps. Therefore, you never get laid. There is no secret sauce. The game is only 2.5 points. You're just regurgitating and doing the same fucking 2.5 points over and over and over again. So therefore, you never get laid. So why do they always use game crutches like Grape Game or the students wrestling with drunk women? They will never show that in the video. Even if they show all the subtitles, they'll never show at that bedroom when their students have a champagne bottle next to them, just like their old infields. That is what? It's like illegally winning the game. Legally. It's just like brute forcing it right at the bedroom. That means everything before the grape does not technically work right before that point. I hope I got that point across. So therefore, you're always stuck because the alcohol crutch or the status maxing crutch is not technically, like, for example, let's say they're using Instagram, okay? A lot of coaches are doing this, not just one. I would say dozens or maybe, several dozen coaches these days in Red Pill believes in status maxing. Let's say they use an Instagram close because they have more status. They display their status, but at that point of the number close with the Instagram, everything before that point does not work without it because that's the conversion mechanism. When you take away that Instagram, all the advice before that will not work. Just like in the bedroom, when they're using the alcohol and you touch right in the bedroom, everything before the polling, everything before the incidate, everything before, that day game, none of it works by itself. That's why the products do not work. I'm reviewing the secrets of the industry, why it keeps going in a circle. It's a circle of death, a downward spiral, where everybody just keeps failing because they're not using the alcohol crutch. And some of you cannot actually run this status maxing game. I have students who are engineers who are on vacation, but they can only go for 2 weeks. Just for 2 weeks. They cannot raise their high status job. They're not like a DJ, a club promoter. They're not like some kind of high status music producer. They have none of these status. They're a fucking engineer. And afterwards, you got to think about the lifestyle. How much of a lifestyle can they do? They can't have women twerking in their fucking Instagram. Because the people at their jobs, their bosses are like, what the fuck is this? They'll get in trouble at work. So therefore, they can't run that. And then the status advantage. Some of my Indian students are really like 2 out of 10 Indians. They're not like 4 out of 10 whitewash Indians. So therefore, they cannot run that stuff, which pulls her all the way home in the bedroom. They wrestle with her, brute force it illegally, Andrew Late style, and then they claim that they're good. They have game. They have zero game. If you're wrestling in the bedroom, you have zero game. That's the conversion mechanism. Does that make sense? So this mentor mentality may not necessarily be transferable. That's why you learn it in their boot camps. I know this is not what you want to hear, but here's the truth. So let me talk about the second hidden secret. Okay. If they can do it, you can do it. But in reality, their day game products doesn't work at all. It's all alcohol. All the other stuff, if you take away the alcohol, it does not work. Maybe their 6 months program. You play the game long enough, you might eventually get laid. But it does not work. So that therefore, the ones who are worshipping always gets fucked up. I mean, think about it this way. If I was really so wrong, my students, these are the guys who are very smart. They understand. They're wise up to this whole situation. They know when they're being fucked over. So therefore, they're not stupid. But the guys with the death stare, the eyes split in two different directions, are cheap. Second of all, they're wrestling with her in the bedroom. What's wrong with wrestling with the bedroom? Isn't that bedroom escalation, John, as they look at me with crazy eyes? No, you are not allowed to wrestle with the women. It means she is not converted yet in the bedroom. If you're wrestling with drunk women, she's not converted. By creating this Stockholm syndrome, then she will once she submits and have sex because the guy is wrestling with her, because they say, oh, romantic sexual, this guy's boyfriend material. So she'll submit, turn into a relationship, but she will go through Stockholm syndrome where she sides with the captor. The captor will be holding her hostage. It's not going to work either because it funnels you into boot camps. The reason you are stuck is simple. They are using game crutches. Sure, you have to maneuver, you have to sexualize it, and you got to deal with objections. That's true, right? We all know that. Where they pull women home to maneuver. Also, to deal with the objections, they get her drunk as fast as possible. They use vodka and Pepsi. So they pour the women's glass over and over. They'll just keep pouring more and more into her glass because they believe that if they mix it with Pepsi and vodka and they keep pouring and then pouring and pouring and wrestling, she's going to get drunk faster because half of it's Pepsi and the other half is vodka. Vodka is strong, has a high alcohol content. The Pepsi is sweet, so it's easier to drink. That's what they do. Or they have a champagne. It always needs an alcohol. This is why they're always stuck, because now they believe there is no way to get any results during day game unless they use alcohol or status maxing. But there's a third funnel that works, which is what I can teach you as a coach. The third funnel is all of you guys have a friend who is actually good with women. He has a rectangular jawline. He has good social skills. He's a very nice guy, and he has no problems whatsoever. He's probably married to a white girl. You all have that friend, but that's exactly what I teach. Body language, social calibrations, social skills, emotional control or chillness, and whitewash tonality. You always have that friend. So there's actually 3 funnels. It's not just fucking game funnel like London Daygame or romantic sexual shit. It's not always status maxing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want a status max, but it only works for 1% of the population. It does not work for you. Okay? So if it works for 1% of the population, the word is not transferable. This damn Brazilian kind of game, right? And why would you need night game? Not all of you are like club promoters or anything related to that. You don't own a nightclub. You don't have any status. So why would you do that? It's impossible for you to do it because you have obligations in your job. You will have to be an entrepreneur to make that work. And you need at least 6 figures to 7 figures to run that kind of lifestyle. That is the truth, and you all know it. But there's a third funnel my Pakistani mentor does. He dresses whitewashed, number 1. Number 2, he talks like a white guy. Even if you have an Indian accent, if you talk whitewash like I will teach you, then you can bypass her defenses. Because she cannot actually think you're Indian if she cannot match the accent with the stereotype, the 2 out of 10 Indians. If you look like the 4 out of 10 whitewash Indians, then therefore your status goes up. It's that simple. Good body language, this, that. In close, I have so many Indian students getting laid in day game. This is not a coincidence. There is a third funnel that you guys are not aware of. That's what my Pakistani mentor taught me, a mentor. But I'm a coach. I'm a dating coach, and I'm good at what I do. I'm the general. I'm not the soldier. I'm the guy who plays the orchestra. I run like all these students, all their game in my mind like a general. They're fighting their own wars. But instead, you want to listen to that fucking musician, say, I'm a good musician. I'm a mentor. That's mental. I'm a mentor. I'm a good musician. Therefore, I'm the only one who can teach it. Oh, well, fuck you. Your products don't work. I mean, think about it this way. How many products would they release until they give you the solution? How many products? I only released 2 products and they work. They have proven to work. Their stuff does not work for most of them for the products. In fact, they have 0 track record of it working for any of it. They have less than 5 day game lay testimonials. We're not talking about mixing with a night game component because that is not actually day game. That's a setup game, damn Brazilian. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. If you guys can do it, have a lot of energy. I just don't think it's transferable. I mean, it's cool that they can do it, but can other people do it? All right, so this is what I'm trying to say. As you're dealing with objections, you try to get as drunk as possible with vodka and Pepsi. And they call it bedroom escalation to sexualize it. This is illegal. So that's what you'd be doing in their boot camps. That's why their day game products are a total waste of time. Other crutches you see is status maxing, as you know. But it just, I mean, how many of you can do it? I can't even do it. I don't have the energy. I'm not an extrovert. The last hidden secret is you believe boot camps are the only options to get laid in day game, but you are being taken for a ride because time and time again, their day game products do not actually work. But you get so stuck, so you start to blame yourself like a good sheep. That's right. You get burnt. You think this mentor mentality, this musician who's good at music, I'm playing the orchestra. You all need the general to get you laid faster because I have
675.
testimonials. Then you say to yourself, well, what's wrong with you? You need a boot camp because you blame yourself. If you don't get laid during their products because you're worshipping like a sheep, and since you don't get laid, you're like, well, if the coach can do it, I can do it. This mentor mentality bullshit. Not this dating coach, but they say they're a good dating coach. Well, divide my day game lay testimonials versus theirs. We'll see who's actually a better coach. My stuff works even for the products, but you have to do the 30-day challenge. My stuff works for online coaching, 3MP. It works. Their stuff don't fucking work. There's 6 months to misery. Maybe like over a long term, you might number game it. It barely works. Then you go in their boot camps as they extract more money out of you. It's much like an Andrew Lake concept. Famous the goose, famous the geese. Famous the goose, famous the geese. Famous the goose means like, first of all, you got to turn a person into a goose. You got to turn them out. That's why the products, they make you worship, even though it's completely illegal using grape game. Totally illegal, by the way. So that's number one. You cannot get a woman drunk and wrestle with her and turn out like a Stockholm syndrome. Great. Famous the goose. Just like their products are going to famous you. They're not going to work. They're going to famous the goose. They're going to famous the geese. That's the boot camp. Famous the goose, famous the geese. So they'll fatten up the sheep. They'll keep feeding you more and more bullshit with half-truth pill. They'll tell you bullshit lies. Follow the money. Don't listen to what they say. Look at what they do. They'll declare out of nowhere that they don't like money. I don't like money. I just want to retire. Blah, blah, blah. And the sheep at the bench with their sociopathic eyes are like, oh, yes, yes. They're stupid. It's easy to fool them. Literally everything that they tell you is a lie, 99%. Just like, well, can you prove what? Everything's a lie. How they got into a different country from a different place is a lie. They say, oh, yeah, because they applied like many times. No. How they meet their girlfriend? They will never show you that it didn't work out. And then later on, they fucked her friend, you know? And then afterwards, they converted her because they didn't use alcohol that time, so it didn't work. All the other short-term girlfriends are all alcohol. Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. Always an alcohol, social circle game. They just meet social circle, convert. They never tell you the truth. It's all a lie. Everything's a lie that comes out of their mouth. The half truth, because they just have to say, oh, here's my lay count. But how much alcohol can you get into women? You can't get 800 fucking glasses into her. That's fucking bullshit. And also, when they have a girlfriend, they're not approaching. They'll say yes, the girlfriend allows them. They'll tell you whatever lie. It's not true. They'll never allow that because it's fucked up. So therefore, everything about their authority is a lie. It's all alcohol. It's almost illegal, borderline game. Literally in the bedroom, when you wrestle with her, she submits. And then they're like, what's wrong? It's bedroom escalation. Because they're sociopaths. Who are just sociopathic eyes like this. They just stare like this nonstop with their sociopath intensity, right? As that person's eyes split when they're telling you all this bullshit. It just splits in two different directions. Now they change the camera angle so you can't see it. But that's a sadistic, dark tetrad sociopathic eyes, the Pennywise eyes. So they just gaslight you. Everything they say is bullshit. Follow the money. They start making fun of other coaches. Let's say London Daygame, hypothetically. They're trying to separate London Daygame because they know the students, the Indians, will go there. It's not about that they want to talk badly about London Daygame. It's more like they're systematically turning you out. They're going to famous the goose. They fatten you up with bullshit lies. Then they say, here's the secret to their products. They're the mentors. And then afterward, they'll turn you up. Then you don't get results. That's what's happening. So this mentor mentality says, you always say to yourself, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? You said if you don't get results, then there must be something wrong with you because they can do it. But that's the wrong mindset. Mentors versus coaches versus teachers. Teachers are just theory junkies. Coaches, they've done it. They don't have to be the best, like Mayweather Jr.'s father and uncle, but they're good enough. And then you have the mentors. But the mentor is not always the only option. It is not the only option. You can also get a good dating coach like me with
675.
Lapo testimonials, the general. The guy who runs the orchestra, not just the guy who's playing the instrument who claims he's good. Who gives a fuck? You want results, right? Do you want to worship or do you want to get laid? If you want to worship, you're just going to be funneled into a fucking boot camp every single time. So that's why you're stuck. So you blame yourself. But you should not blame yourself. I'm giving you what they're doing. I'm telling you exactly. The reason you're stuck is because of this mentor myth mentality. You're literally mentally trapped. They say things like, oh, only they can teach it because, well, that's not true. A coach can be just as effective as a mentor. So it all depends on the lay testimonials. They don't have any for their products. That's a fact. It just doesn't fucking work. Ask yourself, how many of their Daygame products have you bought? All of them, right? How many times have it worked? 0. Then how come you're looking at John Elite's students, one lay testimonial after another? It just kept happening. Every single day I had a new lay testimonial. Almost like 10 a fucking week. Laid in poll. How the fuck did that happen? I posted so many fucking lay testimonials in the community section, you ignored it. How the fuck did that happen? It's impossible. Give it a thumbs up if you're getting it. They're not posting anything. And only in a boot camp, when the students learn how to use grape, they can just declare, oh, my students don't use grape. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They'll cut that part out. So everything that they show beforehand does not matter. You will not get laid. You always go into their boot camps and you'll feed them 5.6K per head for a boot camp. They'll just keep stacking that up. It's a lot of work to teach a boot camp. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of work. They still have to fly to your location. That takes expenses out of it. The plane ticket, the hotel. But still, they get 5.6K a head. That's how they see it. That's the math. Your bags of money. your bags of money. So it all depends on the lay testimonials. This is exactly like Andrew Late mentality. That went from moose to goose, turn the people out, right? For the webcam business, you must turn the person into goose first. The Daygame products don't work. You're missing the grape game that, or the status maxing. You know, there's different funnels. They release products, none of it works. How come none of you are getting laid from it? Is that a coincidence? How the fuck is that possible? It rarely happens. If it does happen, it's only because of luck. Because there's no grape game. Do you understand that? This is what you don't want to hear. It's the truth. So because you have this mentor worship mentality, and then they feminist the geese. What if all this is intentional design? And it's like an intelligent design. So the point is that, what if that was their plan? Their plan is just to get everybody into boot camps because they're gaming you. You think by them being Machiavellian that they're going to stop gaming you? They'll declare, they're not gaming you. They care about you. Don't listen to what they say. Follow the money. Look at what they do. Look at what they do. Don't look at what they say. They can say anything, split their eyes, use authority switch on your brain, and then gaslight you. What if? What if it's intentional design? It doesn't work. So they famoose the goose and they fatten you with a mentor mentality, and then you worship authority. They say some unverified lay counts as if you can get that much alcohol into women to drink it. Come on now. Once you've given them the authority, you automatically trust their half-truths. They fatten the sheeps now as much as, you know, with as much dog shit, their fictional dog shit, as they pump it into your brain, and they'll come back to gaslight you. So you get stuck. They're using the half-truth pill. If they were using grape game and wrestling with drunk women, graping her, and then she submits to him, and then later on takes to his side, do the Stockholm syndrome, I am proud I don't teach my students that. That's why I got
675.
Lepo testimonials. Without the grape soul game of famoosing the goose, famoosing the geese, that's what they do. Get you every single time with the half-truth pill. So if they brag about this mentor mentality, calling you brokies or whatever, they're the best coach. Not all mentors are good. Kobe Bryant cannot coach. Mayweather Jr. cannot coach. Elon Musk cannot coach. So shut the fuck up, stupid. It doesn't automatically mean they can coach to that degree. Look for either a mentor, a coach, or a teacher, right? Find out which one gives you the best results. It all depends on what you're doing. It's not just bro science, like the biggest weightlifter with the most steroids is the only option. There's more than one options besides the mentor myth. So where they're boot camps, they just come in there to learn the alcohol crutch or borrow coach's status maxing. You're not here to borrow the coach's status, go on a ride. It's not Jurassic Park ride. But when you go back home, you're stuck again. Unless you keep using alcohol, he has to drink. So they cut that part out of their infields. So it doesn't matter because everything before the game crutch and the bedroom at that point on the Instagram social media close does not work. All the tactics without the game crutch does not work. So it's not transferable. So this is how they famoose the goose and famoose the geese. You fall for it every time. Like I said, set up game. If you guys can do it, that's great. But I can't do it. I have the money to run set up game. I don't have the energy. I'm an entrepreneur. I can fly anywhere I want in the world. Not a problem. But you know, I don't have the energy to do it. My students do not want to do it either. This is not the only option. If you can do it, good for you, right? Great. But is that transferable? I personally, in my opinion, I don't think it's that transferable. So here's a solution. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, whitewash tonality. You always have a third funnel. The Indians that you guys know, right? You all have an Indian friend who's good with women, who gets white girls, Latinas. He has a white girlfriend or a wife. And they have a square jawline or a rectangular jawline. They're around 5'10", 5'10 and a half, and white women loves them. You always have that one friend. That is the funnel I'm trying to teach you. There's a big difference between 2 out of 10 perceived natural status Indian versus whitewash Indian, 4 out of 10. There's plenty of room for you to grow. If you can get over your fucking inner game issues, your belief in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Use my system, automatic lay. Automatic is 20 out of 35. It's that simple. Just learn how to be like your fucking friend. There's a third funnel that nobody knows. So if you keep using alcohol, they can't stop the fucking alcohol thing. They're finally stopped. You can let go. They always have to. Because in their mind, they're not good enough. It's fucking up your inner game. I'm giving you the social skills, the social calibrations, whitewash tonality. My Pakistani mentor dressed like a white guy. He talks like a white guy. He's the best day gamer I know. He's my mentor. That's why I call him Pakistani mentor. He's the best of the best of the best. He's the Michael Jordan. Other people that claim they're the best, I don't think they're the best. I just think they're full of alcohol and they're doing illegal grape game. They have zero game. You take away a grape game in the bedroom, the alcohol, they have no results. Oh, the game. That just debunks game. If they use alcohol in the bedroom, it debunks game. That means game does not work without the alcohol, the conversion mechanism, the crutch. Therefore, it's all a lie, all a fucking lie. And they got you. I mean, think about this one. The first time you get fooled, you say, fool me once. Shame on me. But here they are, again, shame on you. How many times must you fall for this mentor mentality, this mentor mentality, and you keep failing? How many fucking times does it have to happen? Stupid. My Pakistani mentor cannot actually coach. That's the second thing. But they make you worship the mentor mentality so they can fatten you sheeps up. Then their boot camps is the slaughterhouse. Famoose to goose, famease to geese. The third takeaway, they use game crutches, alcohol, wrestling with drunk women to cause Stockholm syndrome. They teach you that in their boot camps. They say they're going to give you more of the secrets. That's why you weren't getting results. There is no secrets. I know exactly everything they teach. They look for women when they first approach. They look for the one that has nothing to do. That's the first secret. Number two, they'll say, excuse me. And then, quick question, they'll talk about some kind of creative artistic vibe with some push-pull shit. Number three, they're going to plow. They're going to talk as fast as possible, but you should be talking slow, not fast, because slower means alpha male. That's behavioral game, because you don't care. That actually gets you the hook. So therefore, they'll go to rejections after rejections. But still, because they're selecting the set. Number four, because they hunch like crazy for their students in them, they'll give you a million push-pulls to spike the attraction. But instead, the attraction can gradually build when you actually have good social calibrations from Elite 30 from hard case to hero or Kaizen. For the 6 to 8 minutes, they'll walk and talk with you no matter what. But for them, they have to spike the emotions. So they keep doing a bunch of flirts. So at first, they try to get her in a conversation after hunching to draw her in and do a million push-pulls and flirts. After that, they'll go for an Insta date. But first, they'll do this stupid my father routine. They'll say, my father told me that when I meet a woman at this street, exactly at whatever street right now, and they have this stupid routine. They're like, but, maybe she likes you, but just doesn't know it yet. But if she's dumb, she's got and you hold her hand like this. If she likes you, right, she'll leave her hand in your hand. She'll like you, but don't know it yet. However, if she doesn't like you, she'll slap you across the face like this. You grab her hand like that. But since she likes you, that's why your hand is still in my hand. So they're trying to use this progressive escalation where they're trying to subconsciously move her into liking him. Later on, they'll move up the escalation ladder. They only have 4 steps. I have 5. Get it? There's 2 escalation ladders. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, progressively. I'm basically telling you exactly what's in their boot camp so you don't have to fucking take it. It's up to you. I don't care. But their products will not work. And all this is just mental bullshit. There's a better way without alcohol. All this will require alcohol. So their escalation ladder, the very first one is to grab the hand like this, and they'll lift it up and let go, right? So that way, grab, let go. That's like a half escalation. Or they'll do a level 1 flirt. Then they'll teach you a level 2 flirt, which is a palm reading. My students don't want palm read anymore. Does that make sense? So you need to, and then when they're palm reading, they'll make this part right here. They'll squeeze it together. They'll talk about, do you know what this means, right? It means you have a lot of kids one day. And then is that, what do you mean by that? Can you tell? You're supposed to have a lot of kids, but these days they have protection. That's why you don't have. They're trying to make it seem like a future boyfriend, girlfriend, husband material thing, romance. So that's what you're learning in our boot camps. I know exactly every step. They talk about secret sauce, but I'm giving you the secret sauce. Number 3, they'll do a hand hold. They'll eventually hold her hand, they'll let go, hold her hand, let go, or they'll do a level 3 flirt. Number 4, they'll go for a kiss. They say, I have a thought in my mind. They're like, what's the thought? To kiss you, right? They'll use their facial expressions. They believe they have game. They'll pull her back home. And then when they're back home, to deal with the thing, they'll do a pull talk. They'll keep talking nonstop until she walks into the elevator, up, whatever, pie in her mind. I know exactly all their tactics. I'm giving it all away.